selling akara and yam. We are not going to restrict them, but we will relocate them. We will build akara and yam hub where luxurious buses and transporters can go there and eat. We will turn the whole of that movement from Natako to Jamaica to a boat club. A boat club where people can go and have boat cruise. When I become governor by the grace of God, whatever we are getting from Abuja will be concentrated for payment of salary, pension, gratuity, training and training of public and civil service.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for the November 11th election in Kogi State, Dino Melaye, has promised to give priority to prompt payment of workers' salary and grow the informal sector of the state economy if elected governor of the state. Melaye said this in Lokoja at a meeting of stakeholders with party where he was presented the party's flag and launched the slogan for his campaign.
One Kogi,
One Kogi, One Destiny is the campaign slogan for Senator Dino Melaye's campaign, unveiled here at the gathering of key players of the PDP, which had in attendance former governors and National Assembly members of the party. PDP flag bearer Dino Melaye highlighted his area of focus if elected governor of Kogi State, with staff welfare and revitalization of the informal sector top on his agenda.
If you are going to Abuja, you see in Atako, you just find people selling akara and yam. We are not going to restrict them, but we will relocate them. We will build akara and yam hub where luxurious buses and transporters can go there and eat. We will turn the whole of that movement from Natako to Jamaica to a boat club. A boat club where people can go and have boat cruise. When I become governor by the grace of God, whatever we are getting from Abuja will be concentrated for payment of salary, pension, gratuity, training and training of public and civil service.
A former governor of Kogi State, Ibrahim Idris, and other leaders of the party appealed to aggrieved members within their fold to let go of their grievances and support the party's candidate.
How do you expect me to leave my party to go and encourage other party candidates? That will be the last thing I will do, and I hope all of you will do the same. So we'll remain in the party and we'll have to rally around him, give him all the support he needs so that we'll get there to the prepared house for after the election.
Both those who are aggrieved and those who are not, to join hands. Let us work as a body. Let us work as co-guides to make sure we deliver Senator Dino Melaye.
Senator Dino Melaye says his official campaign document will be unveiled in the coming days, as he assures that his campaign will be issue-based without name-calling.
Asking for forgiveness. You know, when you have a stubborn child, it will always go and look for trouble. And anytime he comes back, you keep forgiving him. PDP, now una born me, now una get me. So anyhow I did, una go accept me like that. So I am asking that for all those I have offended deliberately, and those I have offended not intentionally, sin of head, sin of heart, I ask for forgiveness and I say I am very, very sorry. I want us to take the entire primary and the process. Well, I want us to take it like a football match between Arsenal and Man U. You know, with due respect to General Lokoja, Man U is coming up. They are coming up. I want us to take this contest like a match between Arsenal and Man U. And when Arsenal and Man U are playing, you know there will be very heavy tension. You will see some players tackling each other. Some are pushing each other. Some are even hitting each other. Because each team wants to score a goal. That does not mean they hate the players or they are not happy, but it is the passion to get goals that is always pushing you to committing some errors on the field. But you will find out that immediately after the match, two people who are slight tackling each other will go and exchange jersey. They will hug each other and embrace each other. So this contest is like match between Arsenal and Man U. It is over. I am hugging my co-aspirant. I am exchanging jerseys with my co-aspirant, and by the grace of God, that peace will be established, that unity will be established in PDP by the grace of God. I want to assure on behalf of our party that the PDP will do things differently when we get to power. Whatever is wrong with this government, we will do the direct opposite. I want to say that Dino Melaye is not going to be a Christian governor. Dino Melaye is not going to be a Muslim governor. But I am going to be governor with the fear of God. If you have the fear of God, you will be just. If you have the fear of God, you will be kind. If you have the fear of God, you will not pay percentage salary. If you have the fear of God, you will pay pension and gratuity. If you have the fear of God, you will pay leave bonus. You will pay, all promotions will be cash backed. If you have the fear of God, there will be peace and stability in the state. That is what we are going to do by the grace of God. It is a holy injunction both in the Bible and in the Quran that a laborer is worthy of his wage. In fact, it is in the Quran that before the sweat of a laborer dries up, he should be paid his wage. But the workers of Kogi State, the sweat don't dry. In fact, the sweat has become an eczema on the skin of the workers. We are going to reverse that trend, inshallah, by the grace of God. Some people have been shouting in the East, Igala agenda, Igala agenda. I want to announce here, because I'm staying next to my father, that Dino is the Igala agenda. The Igala agenda is Dino. And I will explain. If Kogi East votes for Dino Melaye, 8 years' time, the baton is going back to the East. If we follow Yaya Bello's cousin, it will do 8 years to balance 16 years. It will go to the West and another 16 years. So for Igala to get it, it will take 24 years before it comes back. Everybody say, Oloma je, Oloma je, Oloma je. Oh. So, the safest route for the Igala nation is Dino Melaye. Anybody that talk about Igala agenda again, tell them that Dino is Igala agenda is Dino. God Almighty will bless us. I also want to say that we are not going to behave like Yaya Bello. Few days ago, I decided I am not going to castigate, insult Yaya Bello again, because I made a discovery. And that discovery is that a man cannot perform beyond his capacity. You cannot give what you don't have. A man cannot perform beyond his knowledge. If you pick Engineer Otu now and take him to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport and put him in a Boeing 300 and ask him to fly the plane, he will spend 1 month in the cockpit. The plane will not move because he has no capacity to move that plane. So what happened is that the best of what Yaya is possessed with is what he has demonstrated. But now you are coming with a digital governor who understands what the time is, who will take counsel from elders, who will take counsel from people who know it, from the experience of our fathers. And by the grace of God, we will move our state from the land of Egypt to the promised land of Canaan. I tapped something from my leader. Kogi State is bigger in land mass than 80 states and 80 countries of the world. Kogi State, bigger than 80 countries in terms of land mass. Kogi State is also bigger than 105 countries in terms of population, including Belgium and Israel. What if Kogi State were to be a country and there's no crude oil, there is no federal allocation every month? Will we not survive? That is why PDP is coming to power, to think outside the box. When I become governor by the grace of God, whatever we are getting from Abuja will be concentrated for payment of salary, pension, gratuity, training and retraining of public and civil service. We are going to make sure that we increase the internal generated revenue of Kogi State without taxing poverty. Because to go around and be collecting money from the poor, you are taxing poverty. We are not going to tax poverty. We are going to bring innovations that will bring about prosperity. We have over 50 mineral resources beneath the earth in Kogi State. Only one has been tapped. Only one. Uranium. I brought some researchers and they spent 3 weeks and they've given me a report. We have the highest deposit of uranium in Africa in Kogi State. The annual market value for uranium across the globe runs to tens of billions of dollars. We have gypsum in very large commercial quantity in Kogi State. The annual market value for gypsum today in the world is $64 billion US. Yet we have it and we are not partaking in the prosperity that it attracts globally. We are going to make sure that we do things differently. Entertainment and culture, we are going to take seriously. If you go to Calabar in September, you cannot find accommodation in December because of Calabar Carnival. What are they doing in Calabar Carnival? Ekwechi Festival alone can attract billions of naira to Kogi State. I am a fan of Arijonu, and I know that as a child I used to run from school to go and see what Arijonu is doing. And I know that as an individual at that time, I was attracted to it. Oh, Margino, Iyo. Ogende will understand what I'm talking about. We have Ovia Osese in Ogorimagongo. Very colorful cultural programs that can be exported out of this country, that can be commercialized. We have the Obagogo. And that's how we have in Kaba. And we have it across the states like that. We can put all this together and have one powerful cultural program once in a year. All we need to do is to advertise it for 6 months on CNN every day. And you will be shocked that it will become an international event that will attract income to this state. If you are going to Abuja, you see in Natako, you just find people selling akara and yam. We are not going to displace them, but we will relocate them. We will build Akara and Yam hub where luxurious buses and transporters can go there and eat. We will turn the whole of that movement from Natako to Jamata to a boat club. A boat club where people can go and have boat cruise. If you go to Dubai today, 1 hour 15 minutes marine boat cruise costs you 500 dirhams. Then if you now go to Miami, where you have the longest today in the world, that's the longest cruise you can have, 4 hours 15 minutes. But we can create a record for Guinness Book of Record. From Lokoja to Onitsha on the Atlantic Ocean is 8 hours to and fro. Nowhere else you get that in the world. All we need to do is to expose it, advertise it, and people will start coming. They will say they want to go to that longest boat cruise in Nigeria. People will come. And the world is a global village. You don't need your own money. There are loose funds all over the world begging for development.